Here we go. Back again. Did not have work today, so I slept in late. Very, very late. Which, extra sleep. That's fucking perfect. So, got 30 minutes of seated bike cardio on the agenda. And then I'm gonna go do arms later tonight. Didn't record back yesterday. One of the mics was dead, and I was just like, whatever. It was already kind of late, so I just kind of rushed through it. So if you're missing out on your back day content, just go back and watch one of the other. How many would there be? 40? Almost 50? No, 40. Probably around 40 full back workouts ish. So the cardio, I mean, it's not that fucking hard. I'll actually show like the settings or whatever that I use, but it's really just going to be dependent on how good your cardio is, right? If your cardio is total shit, then if you do the same settings as me, it's going to be too hard, and you're going to get gassed too quick. Like, it's not sprints. I'm not doing high intensity, fucking getting my heart up to 180, totally huffing and puffing, dying cardio, right? It's just kind of a constant output of energy, right? Like, if I wasn't doing the seated bike, my second best choice is just walking on the treadmill, maybe a mild incline, and doing that maybe 45 minutes an hour, just speed of maybe, I don't know, 3 miles an hour. Like, I definitely wouldn't want to do Stairmaster, just because that's gonna do a lot of, I don't know what I would say, damage, right? Like, when you're doing the Stairmaster, you're really working your fucking glutes, your calves, right? And then probably the easiest form of cardio is just the walking. All you're doing is fucking walking. And I think the bike is a pretty good in between, right? Because let's think about this. If you're doing the Stairmaster, which is really hard, that's probably one of the quickest ways to burn calories, right? The machine will sort of tell you like how many calories you've burned so far, right? And doing something like the Stairmaster, right? You're probably burning a higher rate for the most part than if you're doing the treadmill, right? Because I'll do 30 minutes on the seated bike, but I would do more like an hour on the treadmill, just because the treadmill takes longer to burn the same amount of calories because it's not as intense. But yeah, like I was saying, the seated bike is just a pretty good balance of effort to, let's say, what would I say, comfort. This guy had the right of way, but he's stupid. Another thing I like about it is, since you're not walking and your fucking torso isn't wobbling back and forth, you're just sitting down pedaling. It's perfect to play on your phone, right? Like, I said this before, or I probably say this every time I make a video about the cardio. I'm not fucking getting hyped up or anything, right? All I'm doing is like scrolling TikToks, watching a show, just goofing off. It's not, this portion of working out is not one that really needs your 100% focus and dedication, right? The hard part of the cardio is just going in and doing it, you know? You don't, I'm never going to go in to do cardio and then when I'm finished with it, have to say, wow, that was an off day. I really didn't get it done today. And vice versa. I never finish 30 minutes of cardio and go, holy fuck, that was sick. That was the fucking best cardio ever. Right? It's not that, uh, what's the word? There's no stakes with the cardio, right? If you can manage to actually get up and go do it, then you won. That's already a W. Perfect way to start your day, too. I mean, just kind of knowing you did something. I don't know. That's what I like. After the 30 minutes, I'll probably get in the sauna for a little bit too. Not because I think it's gonna do much. I just kind of like it. I've heard all sorts of, heat shock protein and whatever other sort of benefits the sauna has, and I'm sure there's some legitimacy to that. But for me, based on at least my level of, knowledge about it, I just do it for fun. You know, it's just kind of just feels nice. You know, I don't really do it post workout. I don't know, it just doesn't really feel right to me. But post cardio, I don't mind it at all. If you've got the time, plus then you're gonna be fucking drenched, so you got to deal with being like super sweaty. But enough talk about the cardio. Let's just go in there and do it. Do a little pumpless pump check, see what we're looking like, and then talk about some other topic on the way back. Fucking super simple. All right. So didn't actually record. I kind of feel stupid recording the cardio. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So seated bike. There's two kinds of them. There's the one where like your body's upright and the pedals are below the seat, right? But I'm doing the one where like you sit down, the pedals are in front of you. But I'm sure they're both about the same. And then in terms of like the settings, right? Don't mess with any of the like fat burning mode or like hit high intensity interval modes. Don't. I think the modes are unnecessary. It doesn't. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if you do them and you like them, then do that. But for me, I just put it to quick start, raise the difficulty up. I think this one was 9, but probably 10-ish 9. It's a normal amount. And then pedal at such a rate where every minute it says you burn about 10 calories on the machine. Whether or not that's actually like the actual number you're burning, it's definitely not totally right. Because if I sat on the machine and did that cardio workout, I'm probably burning more calories than like if you took like a cyclist, right? Because he's got better endurance, he's going to be more efficient. So reading into the numbers like that, it's just not really necessary. Like, don't put too much weight in that number. Really, it's just a difficulty where I start sweating at about halfway through, and then by the end, I'm pretty moist. Obviously, not this moist. This is from going to sit in the sauna for a few minutes. But I didn't finish the cardio and say, "Wow, that was hard." I didn't get off the bike and go. No, it's like I was breathing a little heavier than normal. I think my heart rate got up to maybe, I don't know, the machine was fucked. The readers wouldn't actually register a number, but it was probably in the 140 range. Nothing crazy. I feel like I don't know the ranges, but if you're getting up to like if you just finished a sprint or something, your heart rate is going to be way higher than 140, 150, right? That's a manageable number, right? Because the whole point of any cardio, at least in terms of the low intensity, steady state, that's LISS. Everybody loves talking about that shit. It's just to raise your heart rate for a prolonged period of time, right? So it doesn't matter that I'm using mainly my legs and that's what's getting tired and worked, which is making my heart beat faster. Let's say for whatever reason, uh, I just couldn't use my fucking legs, right? I want to do a little knock on wood. Like, let's say both my fucking knees explode and no more seated bike for me, right? Guess what I would fucking do? I would just use the fucking manual hand bike, right? Do upper body work cardio. So, like, if you only got one leg or something, maybe that's what you got to do. Uh, YouTube demographics, or no, YouTube analytics doesn't show me how many of my viewers are only one-legged. I'm sure it's a small percentage, but who knows? Maybe one of you. So let's do a little bit of a check-in style posing. So this is like totally no pump. Nothing's pumped. Maybe a little bit veinier than just normal in the arms from doing the cardio and sitting in the sauna. Because if you come out of the sauna, dude, fucking like all sweaty, you may as well just have a fucking full body pump. That's almost just what it looks like. But by now that should have worn off. So let's just see what we're working with. Pumpless. Oof. Only a little bit longer to go for the bulk. Um, not probably 2 weeks, probably 2-ish weeks. So just going to try to get as full as possible. Because I mean, let's think about this. In what state are you going to grow and gain weight? Right? That's when you're going to be in the sort of a simplified version, overfed. Right? Let's think. So for the most part, you need some fats, but I'd say carbs are what you're really going to want to up when you're bulking, right? Like I wouldn't want to be eating, 300 grams of fats, right? That's not going to make you more full. Uh, or it's going to change that like level of fullness, right? Is how many carbs you're eating. If I went a whole week on like 50 grams of carbs, I'd probably drop 10 fucking pounds of carbs and water, and maybe a little fat because if I was doing that low carbs, I'd probably just be losing weight for sure. But if I took, 3 days in a row, eating 800 grams of fucking carbs of any variety each day, then I would just fill up like a fucking monster, right? So there's an amount of food that you can eat per day, right? Your maintenance calories, where you burn as much as you take in, right? Your body's just in a fucking, what's the word? Equilibrium, right? And if you eat more food than that, if you take in more carbs or more calories, but pretty much carbs are going to be the main driver of growth, as far as I can tell, then you're going to start to fill up, right? And once all your muscles are totally full of fucking carbs, and you just maintain that state of fullness, then energy is going to kind of overflow, and you're going to have more to recover from your workouts, and then put on a little bit of mass. But I don't know if you should come to me for like the perfect breakdown of diet. Like obviously I get the gist of it, but people explain it in way more detail than me. So let's get in the car. Actually, I got a little dextrose shake for the post cardio. Uh, so double dextrose shake today. So let's just get in the car. I'm just going on a rant now. Eesh. It's fucking hot in there. I tell you what. When I do that a lot, like usually when I'm dieting, I'll always go in the sauna for longer after the morning cardio, just because, I don't know, just because I like it. But yeah, it's fucking hot in there. Usually I'll do 15 minutes. I got to like 8, and I said, okay, that feels about right. That's probably enough. Which typically I would think that's a good practice, right? The last thing you want to do is sit in a sauna for, too long. Fucking Ziz mode, RIP. But let's slam this and then get out of here. Go take a nap before I go back to the gym tonight. Kind of late. Not this one. I'll go to a different one to do arms. Whew. Ugh. Ugh. Yuck. Yuck. So, what are you guys doing to ensure that you make at least moderate progress? What are you guys doing to make sure you're doing everything you can to add some freaking muscle onto your frame? Uh, I'd say more than likely, if you're a lifter, then obviously you go to the gym and you lift. That's the fucking main one. You're not gonna gain muscle if you don't do that shit, right? If you eat a normal bulk diet, you take your creatine, your vitamins, you're just gonna get fucking fat. You gotta add that stimulus. So clearly, you're working out. You're hitting the gym. Very good. Step 1 complete. Now, I'd say probably the second most prevalent thing that people are doing is taking a pre-workout. That's always kind of perplexed me. Like why people wouldn't want to take pre-workout. It just, I mean, there's a few situations where, the argument's kind of valid. Like, if somebody's just hypersensitive to caffeine, like they just take a little caffeine and they're fucking, so their heart's beating like crazy, they're getting anxious. Obviously, don't fucking do it. But then just take a fucking stem free. Okay, now I'm really losing my mind. A stem-free pre-workout, right? Your arginine, your citrulline, your pump ingredients. That shit is no joke. You will get a better fucking pump in the gym. That's why this shit was fucking designed. I didn't do any kind of pre-workout for the first couple of years because I had the mindset. Well, I don't know. I don't want to be. I don't want to be dependent on it. I think that's kind of stupid, right? If it's gonna improve your lift in intensity and pump, I think it's the way to go. But yeah, like I was saying, if you're fucking caffeine intolerant, or maybe you have to lift at night and you just can't get to sleep if you take caffeine, then just caffeine free. Boom. Creatine, another known improver of performance. I do kind of hear a little bit of talk about how creatine, oh, it makes you bloated. Oh, I don't like creatine. No, it's come on. Like, sure, people will talk about creatines being like water retentive, right? Make you hold on to water, but it's not that bad. I don't know what you guys are talking about, right? It's fucking intramuscular water, right? It's good for you. Plus, I mean, extra ATP, more reps. Seems pretty freaking good to me. And then your diet, obviously, you guys need to be fucking tracking your macros, proteins, carbs, fats. That's a hard one for people. Typically, people do not start doing that, in a very dedicated way, very quick. If they do, well, actually, that's. Let me think. No, yeah, I'm trying to think of people who have introduced macro tracking to. The only one that's coming to mind is my younger brother. He started lifting after me. Not as crazy, but he's still lifting. So now he's fucking tracking the macros too, right? And he didn't just start doing it out of nowhere, right? I told him go on the app store, look up stupid simple macro tracker, and then you get to fucking plug in your macros of every meal uh, each day. I mean, it's not that fucking hard. But yeah, that takes some getting used to because you got to weigh your food on the scale. Oh man, I gotta track everything. It seems fucking OCD, but until you do it, you're just leaving gains on the table. And then make sure you take your fucking multivitamins. Calcium, magnesium. If you just grab a men's multivitamin and then some fish oil, that's gonna pretty much cover all your bases. And other than that, I mean, those are pretty much the main ones for the general population of lifters, right? Like if you're not doing that, holy fuck. I almost just reversed to let this truck turn in, but there's a car behind me. Almost bumped into her. Yeah, I mean, that for the general public of lifters. God damn, yeah, no, I really fucking gotta back up. There we go. Made it. Yeah, so wide variety of lifters, that's what you should be doing. And as long as you lift hard, you should be making some fucking gains. Oh yeah, I fucking forgot. Cardio. That's another fucking hard one for you guys to understand. Oh, it's gonna kill my gains. Why would you want to burn calories if you're fucking bulking? It doesn't make any sense. You're just being fucking lazy. I've talked about this a billion times. Doing the cardio is good. It's just gonna make you a more effective lifter. In a bulking context, you're not gonna get as gassed during your workouts. You're gonna have a better metabolism, so you're not gonna put on so much fat when you're eating calorie surplus. And especially if you're prone to just eat like, sugar and candy and garbage like me, then doing the cardio helps kind of counteract some of that. What's another benefit? Now those are pretty much the two in a bulking context. And then when you're dieting, obviously the same thing, less gas during the workouts. Plus, you're gonna burn more calories during the day. That'll mean that you can eat more food and still be in a calorie deficit, right? Because let's say, hypothetically, that machine is right, and when it shows me that I burned 300 calories during that little cardio session, let's say that that's actually the number that I burned. that means that I can eat 300 more calories per day in my, dieting uh, diet. I get 300 extra calories and still be able to be in the same level of deficit than if I were to have not done those 300 calories of cardio. So you get to eat a little bit more food, make it easier to get leaner. Plus it's just fucking good for you, right? It's a, like I feel like that's something that you just know is good for you, but you don't want to do it, right? That's like when if you ask a kid, "Oh, have you been eating your vegetables? Is it good to eat your vegetables?" "Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't like them." Come on, it's that level of fucking what's the word I'm thinking of? I don't know. That's a similar situation. You know you should be doing it. Everybody knows they should be doing it, but you just don't. Do your cardio, get bigger. My main 2 points. So I'm gonna go home, eat something, probably take a nap, and then I think the gym closes at 11. The metro that I'm gonna go to, so it should be empty, which I love. I definitely prefer the empty gym, and it should be a freaky arm day. Won't even have to wait for cables or machines or anything. I'm already getting a little bit excited. So I will see you. Well, I'll see you later today. You'll see me tomorrow doing arms. So I will see you next time.